The circular flow of economics. All right, let's take a second here to talk about this. So money in the economy, it flows in a circle. Okay, the example we have here, and I'm going to make this larger. So a business pays money to individuals who then buy stuff, which then gives the factories. The market is where you're going to buy stuff, right? So the individual is going to buy something. The company is going to make that money. The company is then going to take that money and give it to one of their individual employees, who's then going to get that. Here's the employee getting that money, and that employee is then going to get the money, and they're going to buy another thing. This chart may not do this idea justice. Let's talk about it, okay? Look, this is why we always hear people talking about buy local, okay? Is because if I take my money and I buy something made in California, then the owner of the business is a Californian, right? They always say, shop at mama and papa's places or restaurants, right? One of my favorite restaurants is a place called New York Chicken and Gyro. It's located right down the street from me. And I know the owners, okay? And the owners are really good guys, okay? All right, so back to the idea. The owners are these guys. I really like them. They're really nice to me. We're friendly. And I know that when I buy a sandwich, they're making the money, and they live in my neighborhood. So then they're going to take the money that I gave them. They're going to give some to an employee who lives in my neighborhood, who now has money to spend, and then they're going to pocket it, and then they're going to spend the money in my neighborhood. Okay, so their employee then takes my $10 for my chicken gyro and French fries, and they get part of it for their salary, and then they go to the movies, right? And then AMC, Topanga, gets their money. Now, AMC is a big corporation, so part of that money is going to go to corporate AMC or to stockholders. But part of it's going to go to their employee, who's then going to take that money and go to Starbucks. Now, Starbucks is a corporation. So part of that money is going to go to corporate Starbucks, to stockholders, but part's going to go to their employees who are going to spend it locally. And you notice here that if you shop local, if you shop from a mom and papa's place, not a corporation, not a big franchise like a Starbucks or an AMC, that the money that double stays local. The employees get the money, who are local kids who live in this neighborhood, plus the company owner gets money, who lives in my neighborhood, who's going to spend it in the neighborhood and help create jobs in the neighborhoods. Every time I buy something in my neighborhood, I create jobs in my neighborhood. And if I can buy something made in my neighborhood, not only am I creating job for the company that I'm buying it from, right? So if I go to Ralph's and I pick up I used to buy bottled water. I don't anymore because I have water filtration, but I would always buy the ones made from California water because I thought, okay, well, Ralph's is making some money, and that goes to corporate Ralph's, and this also goes to employees who live in my neighborhood. But the company itself is a California company, where you see like Shop California Local Farms. So our farmers make the money. And of course, it's closer to the market, which is a double positive. But this is a way to keep our money in our community, is if you can shop or buy or go to restaurants or do whatever to non-corporate, but instead to little local family-owned businesses. Instead of going to Home Depot, you can go to the Jerry's Hardware store. There's one like that down there on Ventura. And this doesn't always work, right? There are things that you're just going to have to buy that are from corporations. But the idea is, again, if we can keep, every time you spend money, part of it's going to go here and part of it's going to go here. And we're going to try and keep it in our community. The more money in my community, the more people who are buying stuff in my community, the wealthier my community will be, the happier my neighbors will be. right? And I want happy neighbors. I don't want neighbors who are unhappy or who don't have a lot of money. That's when crimes happen, right? Because my neighbor is hungry, right? Um, and he or she needs food. So now maybe crimes can happen. These are all aspects that um, play into the larger conversation of the circular flow of economics. Okay, of every time I buy something, it stays in my economy. Look, here's the examples I've given. This is Lucille's. Okay, Lucille's is a place at what's that called? Um, it's that new outdoor shopping center off Topanga. I can't think of the name of it. They're a corporation though. Okay, this is Rib Ranch. I love Rib Ranch. It's right there on Topanga. And the thing about it is, like, the owner, he hires his daughters. So, when when I was single, I would go out more to eat. And I would always see him and his daughters. They all, the same. It's really a cute family. So he's keeping all that money in his family, though, right? The money I give him goes to his daughter, and it also goes to his pocket. He lives in my neighborhood. Everyone, all of that money is staying local. Where if I go to Lucille's, yeah, sure, the employee probably lives in my neighborhood, right? But the corporate Lucille's is also going to make some money out of it. So, it's one of those things where you oftentimes think, right, here is a farmer's market at Kaiser. I don't know if you know this, but on Thursdays at Kaiser, they have farmers markets. You can go down there and you can buy from local farmers, okay? I used to do that more than I do now. There's also a farmer's market on Owen Sound, right here in Canoga Park, near where I live. It's on Saturdays. I used to go down there. I still do go there for summer fruits. They don't have meat there, but the farmer's market at Kaiser has meat. I would buy, the meat there. And then here's my alternative, right? Ralph's, which is fine. Shop at Ralph's. But if you buy from the local farmer, and if you go to a farmer's market, the farmer's right there. You can look at them. You can talk to them. Oh yeah, I would suggest you cook this, cut of meat, this amount of time, and this one's the most delicious. And maybe you want to, marinate this particular cut of meat. It's a little tough, or maybe you want to. You can really have this conversation with the person who makes it, and then they get the money, and they'll make more of a profit when they're selling it to you than when they're selling it to Ralph's. So then these farmers, who maybe they're located in Camarillo, maybe they're along the coast, right? Strawberries are all along the Ventura coast. You can go down there and buy some strawberries. Hold on 1 second. Getting back to this conversation, buying local, keeping that circular flow in our local economy, and how that benefits everyone in our economy, including me. So like I'm saying, down there in Camarillo, you'll see the strawberry farms, and you'll sometimes see the truck on the side of the road. That's fresh, delicious fruit right off the vine. No packing and moving and storing, no being shipped overseas or in containers and ripening it later. On top of that, that farmer is making money, who lives in my neighborhood, who's then going to take that money and go to In-N-Out, okay? And he's going to create more jobs at In-N-Out, which means that kids from Canoga High or from Taft will have more opportunities at In-N-Out. And it just benefits our entire community if we can shop local. So the circular flow of the economy. Now, here's another interesting fact, right? You hear like, oh, well, tax cuts on the rich create jobs because they get more money and then they make jobs. Okay, that's probably in part true. But keep in mind that if those rich people get those tax cuts, a lot of the time they're going to put it in their bank, where it's going to sit, and it's not going to be part of the circular flow of an economy. But if you give tax cuts to the low income people, they're going to spend it, right? Low income people don't get more money in their paycheck and be like, oh, I'm going to save this $10 more that I got. They're going to buy $10 more worth of stuff. which is going to be put into the circular flow of the economy. Whereas if a rich billionaire, Jeff Bezos, who paid $0 in taxes last year from Amazon, the guy's a multi-billionaire, right? He's worth like hundreds of billions of dollars. He saved that money. He doesn't. You can't spend it, right? Oh, I was supposed to pay $1 billion in taxes, but I didn't. I didn't spend $1 billion more. I put it into my business, which helps Amazon, but does it help our community? Does it help that local flow, that circular flow of money within the economy? No, right? So this is where sometimes you'll hear economists suggest that, you know, let's talk COVID stimulus checks, right? Recently, we all got, or a lot of people got a little money in March or April to help the economy going during the COVID crisis, the early stages. Now I think Biden and first Trump, and he passed $600 per person, and Biden wants to make it 2,000. That money in the hands of people isn't just going to help the people who it's in the hands of, right? It's going to help everywhere they spend it. So if Biden does get this $2,000 done, I don't know if he will. Now, everyone who gets an extra $2,000 is going to go off and buy stuff, probably from their local community, which will create jobs. And if they buy locally, it will also, the profit will stay local, which will help this circular flow of the economy, where we're going to just see it get bigger and bigger and bigger. More jobs, more opportunity, happier neighbors. So this is the circular flow, the economy, and it's beneficial. It's factual that this is how it works, and it's beneficial if we can have more money flowing in our economy. Think poor countries, right? They don't have anyone in their country with money, so there's so little trickle circular flow, right? And then tourists come in and they bring my LA money to, I don't know, we'll call it Mexico, right? And then Mexico's economy, oh, now we're getting bigger, but that money that I spent in Mexico is not going to be in the circular flow of Canoga Park. It'll be in the circular flow of, whatever. I personally want to go to Zihuatanejo again. I love that place. But you get the picture, I hope. Money flows in circles, passes by hands from one person to the next, who then spends it again. And if we can keep it local, oftentimes it benefits the local community.